y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another video. This is gonna be, I'm reviewing episode 2 from season 14 of Housewives. Y'all, I actually did watch it Sunday, but I didn't watch it. Like, I watched it and I was moving around and doing other things, so I didn't really watch it, process it. So I literally, so this video is gonna be up late. I literally just finished watching it. I turned it off and I said, let me come and get y'all, let's do a review. First and foremost, if you are here, thank you. If you watched the video, thank you. Please go ahead and subscribe. I'm trying to build my channel up, y'all. So I am going to come back with better content. It's just that it's the end of the school year, child. I'm a little busy right now. But okay, so let's dive into this review. So episode 2 starts off with Sanya. I'm saying it right, yeah. Ooh, okay, so it starts off with Sanya, and we see her family. It starts out with she and her mom unpacking some pots and pans. Her mom was like, I just brought back some jerk sauce. And we see her sister Shari. When I tell you, I love that family dynamic. I love Sanya and I love her sister. Y'all don't know, I used to watch that show heavy on WeTV when Sanya had her own show. And I remember her sister owned the salon in Austin and everything. So I don't know. And I love seeing not much has changed other than they have moved now to Atlanta. So we see all the players again from Sanya's old show on the Housewives, so it's refreshing to keep up with them. So we see her sister Shari comes into the picture, and Sanya then she now explains that she moved her entire family to Atlanta and it's 9 people living in the house. So it's Sanya, Aaron, and their son Deuce, Sanya's mom and dad, Sanya's sister, her husband, and their 2 sons. So it's 9 of them in the house, and I'm pretty sure the house is big enough, and I'm pretty sure it's fun because there's always family around. I don't come from a big immediate family, so I'm not used. I wouldn't know what that's like, but I'm sure it's I'm sure it's fun because there's always somebody there. And saying it's she's really happy because they help out tremendously with Deuce, and that her sister is her hairdresser. So then they go into this beef patty debacle. Her mom just got back from Jamaica and brought back boxes of beef patty. So everyone has a box of beef patty. And her mom was warming some up for Sanya's day. Her mom making her man something to eat. And Sanya's like, well, listen, y'all didn't brought back these beef patties and they're all gone. So the mom, I'm going to be honest with you. It's something about island mamas. It's just something about an island mama. What is it? They get up so offended with the littlest thing with their children. I seen it with my mama. I hate to say Sanya's mama and my mama one. Just one. Cause every little thing they take it and they blow up. I think Sanya was hold on, the beef patty, and the mom was I don't like you questioning me about a beef patty. I don't want no problem. And then Sanya was rolling her eye whatever, and then Shara was just sitting there you could tell they used to their mom and her shenanigans. Girl, come on with it. And the mom was just sitting. Yeah, I kid you. All I say is them island mamas. It be them island mamas. Oh. But yeah, it was just a fun dynamic to see. So about the beef patties. So yeah, that was that. They just talked about her family moving in. They was talking about the beef patties. And that's really it. It was just nice and refreshing to see. We didn't see too much of Sanya this episode anyway. So yeah, I took notes. So that's why I keep looking down. I took notes as I was watching the episode, so that way I could kind of stay on track, y'all. I was just writing. I was like, okay, make sure I mention this, or make sure I talk about this. So then it cut to Sheree. And then Sheree and her mom prepping, getting ready, because Kenya's coming over. And her mom was like, oh, what do you think she'll eat? And Sheree was like, pretty much nothing. She's little now, she's real skinny. Kenya comes over, and immediately they go down to Sheree's basement, which has done a complete 180 from what it looked like 5 years ago at her housewarming party when Kenya snuck down there. And let me tell you, the notes I wrote, I put Sheree's basement. I put, oh my God, it's nice. Chateau Sheree is nice by itself. It was nice. Even when the basement just had baseboards. I mean, not even baseboard. What is it? Sheetrock. Was it sheetrock or whatever? It looked nice then. Yo, Chateau Sheree. The little clips they show like before Kenya arrived. Sheree did that. That house looked big as hell and it looks good. Looks so good. But let's get into this basement though. I said, ooh, that basement. I said, oh my God, it's nice. Sheree has, in her basement, she has a basement bar, an entertainment room, a spa room, and a lounge. When Kenya walked there, Kenya said, this looks like a club. Like, all of this is not in her house, but her basement. Like, Sheree, I see why it took you so long. You know, what is it? Beauty takes time. Like, you know, Sheree was like, I'm not just about to rush up and throw no house up and fill it up with IKEA. Sheree said, I'm going to take my time. And even if that is 8 years or however long, what was it, 8, 5? I don't remember. I don't know. Y'all don't quote me on it. I don't remember how long it took Sheree to get it. But let me tell y'all something. That house was definitely worth the wait. Because, ooh, and I've never seen it. I've never seen it in person. I'm going based on what I've seen on my screen. It looks good. And then literally, Kenya said, I even wrote, Kenya put, and you can't hate on it. Like, you cannot hate on Chateau Sheree. You cannot. Like, you just cannot. Like, what can you say bad about it? Like, even if you say, it's really not Sheree's, it's her mama name, it don't matter. Sheree was the brains behind it. Sheree funded all of that. Sheree making sure she keep that. So that's why she put that in her mama name. So it really doesn't matter how you spin it. Sheree did that. Give her flowers. That should be something she get into. She might want to go into interior design or something. Especially or something. Produce a show. Do something. Sure. That house. Oh my Lord. Nice. Real nice. So then they sat down. They got their little snacks or whatever. And you know, girls, they had to get the gossiping. So they start talking about Marlo's event. And Marlo goes ahead. I mean, Kenya go ahead and Kenya tells Sheree. I mean, Sheree tells Kenya, sorry, Sheree says, you know, I could have worn joggers. Like, why y'all be playing with Marlo like that? Like, why y'all do that? Don't do Marlo like that. Girl, I was like, when she said joggers, I was like, don't do her. Don't do her. So then, I'm trying to refresh my memory. I just wrote, they end up video chatting with saying it. So they call saying, and they begin the video chat. I'm guessing they're talking about what happened at the event. I really have to, they were talking about what happened at the event. And then they get off with saying whatever. And then that's when Kenya, I have to say this. I did agree with this because I wrote this out. Last episode, when they went ahead and showed, when Marlo mentioned that she went ahead and had the surgery to fix her edges, and you remember I say, if y'all didn't watch that review, go watch it. Not too many watched it, but go watch it. I said, I was like, Marlo got that procedure done, but they did not show her edges. That was a wig. And Kenya said it. Kenya referred to her procedure as a chia pet surgery. Kenya was like, she went and got a chia pet surgery. And then she was like, but she's still wearing the lace fronts. I'm like, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, if you go get that type of procedure done, child, I'm going to be showing off what they had to correct. I'm going to show off what had to be fixed. And nonetheless, Marlo still look good. Marlo look good without her edges or whatever. The wigs be whatever. But anyway. So then Kenya told Sheree, you know, them two, they collect bones together. They got the tone. See, it's like a baton. Like, okay, you gonna be the bone carrier now. No, you gonna be the bone. That's what they doing. So Kenya told Sheree that Drew told Candy that she ain't pay her assistant. Because the assistant that Candy met at Drew's house is also Sheree's assistant from what Drew explained to Candy. So you know Kenya had to run back and tell that to Miss Sheree, baby. And Sheree's just sitting there like, I guess the assistant went back and told Drew that Sheree hasn't paid him. But Sheree's like, according to Sheree, he's not like she uses him for her assistant, but he's more like on call. Like if all my good assistants have like something else to do and I really need somebody right now, and if you're free, I'll use you. More like that. It's Sheree basically was saying like, look, child, he on call. I use him. I only use him when I need him. He's not somebody that I keep on a regular. So I don't know why he went back and told that to Drew. And why Drew felt the need to go and tell that to Kate. But you know how this show works. You know, we got to keep the mess up. But basically, Sheree said he is an on-call assistant and she really don't owe him no money because she didn't use him like that. And then Kenya was like, that whole house is just a mess. So then they start talking about, Kenya says, because Candy brought up about he's over there telling his assistant something about a massage. And the Sheree like, well, why is she so busy worried about me and my assistant when she need to be worried about what's going on over there? And y'all, this is how it gets started. This is how it gets started. So yeah. So that's that. So then we cut, I think it was a commercial break or whatever. We go into Drew. We see Drew. Now Drew has, okay, so when we cut to Drew, there's a lady walking past with like a short blonde cut. And it says Drew assistant number 4. Why Drew has 4 assistants, I don't know. But Drew also has a personal chef that's cooking her meal, her dinner for the family. So it's Drew, her daughter, her sons were eating, but then they end up going to the sofa and getting on their iPad. So it's a family. They sitting at the table eating. And Drew and Ralph starts talking about Marlo's event. And Drew's like, yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. And Ralph was like, well, I enjoyed talking to Todd. Basically saying like, you know, he had a good time with Todd and like how like minds, you know, think alike. And Drew goes, she says, you know, she was like, she got a chance to talk. She was like, you know, I had an interesting talk with Candy. And she was like, the conversation was interesting. And then she brought up, this is what I didn't like. I'm sorry. I take that back. So Drew was like, I had an interesting conversation with Candy. And I didn't like that she brought up that Candy pulled up the assistant's Instagram. Like, you could have said anything. Like, you could have been like, you know, and we found your assistant. I found it. Like, don't put Candy in that mix because, I don't know. Not that Candy cares, and I'm pretty sure Ralph don't care because, you know, it's probably all in the storyline. But I don't like when people do that. Like, if your friend pulled up something for you, you keep that quiet. Like, you could just be like, we found this or I found this. You're not going to leave. You take the rap. Don't be putting that on your friend because then they're going to be like, your friend messy. I don't like that. I ain't like how she was like, Candy pulled up the Instagram and this is what we found. Da-da-da-da. You could have just said, we found the girl Instagram. It really don't matter. Who pulled it up at this point? We found it. So they brought up the assistants. She brought up that Candy found the girl's Instagram. And immediately Ralph goes, look, I fired her. He goes like, look, I fired her. Like, you know, I fired her. So Drew was like, so you don't talk to her anymore? He says, I didn't say that. Baby, it had to cut to Drew literally saying, you know, he has me, I wrote it. I said, Drew said he has me on tumble dry. Like, he just keeps her in the dry just on tumble. Like, just tumbling. Because, he do Drew so wrong. Like, you don't do that. So Drew was like, he said, look, I fired her. So Drew said, so you don't talk to her. And he goes, I didn't say I didn't talk to her anymore. What was the purpose of you firing her? Like, whatever. So he was like, he said, I never said I'm not going to talk to her. Okay. So Drew said, you know, this man keeps me on tumble dry. You know, he confuses me and it has me questioning myself. So then they cut to Drew's confessional and they're asking her like, you think he gaslights you? And child, Drew and this Google this. This season, Drew is me. Like, low-key, she is me when it comes down to whenever I'm confused or I need clarity on the situation, I'm forever pulling out my phone to gather receipts, the answer or something. So Drew Googles gaslight, and she literally reads the definition, and it fits into her situation. It was like to manipulate someone's mind or something, to questioning their self or questioning their sanity. It was something to question their sanity. To manipulate something, I want to say psychology, whatever, to have them like question their sanity. And literally Drew was like, because that's what Ralph is doing to Drew. He gaslights her. And let me tell y'all something, y'all. I was in this, I don't want to go into me, but that is one sucky situation to be. I wasn't in the lounge, y'all. But I will say that's one sucky situation to be in. Like when you know the truth, but the person that you keep asking for the truth, like it's supposed to be like you're a lover, you're a husband, you're whatever, and they're gaslighting you to make you think that you're crazy. I really hope they just do this for ratings to stay on, like just to have a storyline. I really hope this ain't true because I don't like how Ralph be doing Drew in that sense. Like, I don't like it. So, then they start talking about, Ralph starts mentioning, like, he's telling, like, he was like, people are like, well, it couldn't be based on looks. And Drew was like, well, how does she look? And then he immediately goes and says, well, she's 50 years old. Well, she's 50. Ralph, it don't matter. It does not matter, Ralph. It does not matter. Janet Jackson is 50. Lisa Ray is in her 50s. Who else is 50 and look good? Halle Berry is in her 50s. I don't care if the lady was 94, 63, whatever. It's the fact that you're a married man and your wife has an issue with this woman. I could care less. And then Ralph was like, well, she's 12 years older than me. Men navigate to older women all the time. All the time. And if she looks good, you think he not gonna be like, a man not gonna be just like, oh, I wonder. Let the they're curious. Like, girl, like Ralph. So Drew's like, you're making me feel like I'm crazy. Like, and then he says, well, tell me never to see her or talk to her again. And Drew was like, I would never tell you that. And she was like, I would never tell you that because something about whatever decision you make, I don't want you to have resentment towards me. And then at the end of the day, as a wife, she really should have to tell you that. The fact that you see that she's uncomfortable with it should be all you need to make your necessary decision to be like, my wife ain't cool with this. It's messing up my home life. I see my wife is uneasy. Let me kill this. Let me let that go. Clearly you don't care. Like, you really don't care. Or you don't see a problem with it because you don't care. But anyway, so Drew said she would never tell him to stop seeing her. That has to be a decision that Ralph makes on his own. So then, child, we go on to Marlo. So we see Marlo. It's like a quick glimpse. We see her shopping with her nephew for homecoming. And then it cuts into Kenya playing with Brooklyn. They're drinking tea. And Kenya was like, what kind of tea? And she's like, chocolate. And let me tell y'all something, y'all. I love watching the Atlanta ladies, just love it. But I was looking at like the little room they were in, like it looked like a toy room, and I love how they had the Kenya has like the acrylic toy. I know this is so off, but Kenya had the little acrylic toy chest for Brooklyn's toy, and then she has toys, and then she had like the little acrylic table with the little acrylic chair. I guess Brooklyn sits in color, right? So I thought that was just so cute. That was so cute. And then it cuts to Sheree, her daughter Tiara, and her mom, Miss Thelma. And they were in the kitchen. And then, Sheree asked Tiara about her podcast. Because I guess Tiara must have a sex podcast. I'm going to have to go check that out. I'm going to have to go see if I get on one of their Instagrams and see like what the podcast be like. Because I would be curious to see like what she's talking about. But, yeah, and her grandma, Miss Thelma, was like, oh, I'll make sure I'll never listen to that. So then it goes into Candy and Ty, child. So now we to Candy and Ty. It starts out with Candy's on the phone with her co-producer. I didn't even know this. I follow Candy on IG, but I didn't pay attention. So Candy is a co-producer of this Broadway play, Thoughts of a Colored Man. And basically, if I'm not mistaken, they said Candy was like something about it's history in the making. It's like the first all African-American cast or something along those lines. But it's dope to see that Candy, you know, it's just dope to see Candy putting her hands in so many things. It's just really dope to see. So then Ty comes in and Ty talks to her and Ty was like, are you excited? And she's like, yes, I'm so excited. She was like, but I feel overwhelmed. She was like, I have so much going on and I'm like really gonna need your help. And then Ty's like, wait. Like, don't be making it seem like I'm not here to help you. And Candy was like, well, you know, you've been busy. Like, you're taking vacations. And Ty was like, well, when you're gone for months, I may be gone for weeks. And Candy was like, you going to Miami? And like, why are you going to Miami? He was like, to chill or to hang out. I think he said like to hang out. And Candy says that she and Ty are no longer on the same page. She was like, we're not on the same page. So Ty brings up something about the New Jersey crib. So Candy goes, and Candy was like, yeah, I feel like you're worried more so about that crib versus here. So then they talk about the pool room, the pool room they have in the pool room in Candy's house. So they go down and they go check it out, and from what they showed, Ty went ahead and they got rid of like the brown like flooring and they did black flooring, but like inside the pool they put like all the things outside. Like basically the pool is used. The surface of the pool is used as storage right now because there's no water. It's literally just boxes, plants, chairs. Everything is just sitting in the pool. So that's when they begin talking about the Jersey crib, and we find out how the Jersey crib came about. So Todd mentioned, he later also told us when he met up with the boys at Blaze. He said 20 years ago, he and his girl at the time, they bought a condo together. When it was time to refinance, they didn't work out. The relationship clearly didn't work out because, I mean, he's with Kane and now they're married. But the relationship didn't work out. She refinanced. She never took his name off. So when she went to refinance, something happened. So Todd ended up just buying her out. So now it's his crib. And that's how that came about. We also found out that the house they living in, Ty's name is no owner, because Candy was like, that's not my house. And Ty was like, well, this isn't my house. And Ty was like, my name is nowhere on this. Because Candy was like, that's not my house, my name's not on it. And Ty was like, well, this isn't my house, my name's not on it. Child, I didn't know that. I mean, I don't blame Candy at all. I know you protect what's yours. But after all this time, I ain't know Ty name wasn't on that house, but okay. Okay, Candy. Okay. Y'all know Candy. Yeah, wait, that goes back to like when they was getting married. And Candy, and that whole, let me stop. Because that whole prenup situation had Todd hot. But let's go. So, now we go into Marlo going to go visit Candy at the candy factory. And child, I don't know why these girls do this. This be so funny. So while Marlo was in the car, Marlo was like, this is like a rough neighborhood. Like, this is the rough part of town. Like, don't do that. When y'all go visit each other, like, stop that. Stop that. So, I put sidebar, Marlo's confessional look. So in this segment, Marlo's confessional look, she had like a short black 27 piece. And she had like a black bustier with a big old ring. Baby, that look on Marlo was everything. I said, Marlo looks amazing. Because I'm telling you, the girls was up here. The ring was so big. And then the hair and Marlo just looked good. Like, Marlo always looks good. But I don't know. Maybe it was seeing that 27 piece on her. That's what it was. Like, the short look, like, Marlo was giving, okay? So Candy compliments Marlo. So they sit down. Candy's doing some, I think it was a Halloween shoot. So she, I don't know what she was dressed as, but she was green, like a witch. I think she was a witch. She was a witch, I think. You know, she was just all green, had a black and a green contact, whatever. So they sit down and they start talking. And Candy compliments Marlo on how good the boys looked at her event. And then Marlo mentions how she spent $1,200 just on homecoming for her nephew. So then Candy stops and tells her, like, why does being black always have to equate to struggle? And child, when I tell you, I resonated with that so well when Candy mentioned that, because that is so true. Like, I don't know what it is about. That could be a video within itself that I could speak on, because child, like, I don't know what it is about. You know, people see it, black people, they think like everybody came from the slums, or like, you know, we have to dig our way. Don't get me wrong, that is the majority of our stories, but sometimes, you know, our parents did set us up for a little success. You see what I'm saying? Like, we all didn't come from a background where, you know, I grew up in the projects. I did this. I did that. You know, some of us literally grew up like, I lived in a house. I lived in the burbs. I attended private schools all my life. Like, you know, so I kind of get what Candy was saying. And Candy also mentioned like how her kids will be set up for success. Well, of course, her kids will be set up for success. But she also mentioned that her kids, they work hard. And I mean, we could tell, because isn't Riley somewhere in NYU ran? Yes, I love how Candy was like, you know, black people, I mean, like, that's not all our stories. Like, black people can be set up for success at an early age and still work hard. And not all black people come from the slums, okay? So then Marlo begins to mention how she has them set up for greatness if she passes. Like, she was like, I have life insurance. I have property set up for them. I have, like, all these things for them. But she was like, I'm not sure if they're gonna go as hard if I were to pass. So she was like, it takes a village. And let me tell y'all something, that couldn't have been the realest thing Marlo said, because it does take a village to raise children. I say this all the time. That's the number one reason why I personally do not, well, not personally, there's a lot of reasons why I don't have kids, but that's the number one reason why I'm not too eager to have kids right now, because it does take a village. Me being a teacher, I know that it takes a village to raise a child. And this ain't the same type of villages we had back in the day. What we have now, the village is not the same. Number of reasons. I could jump into that in another video, but no, I'm going to stay on task. So, she tells Candy, like, you know, she was like, you know, I appreciate how you always send them cash apps for like graduation, birthdays, you know, like you could tell Candy always looks out for people. That's why Candy forever gonna stay blessed. Let me tell y'all something. Candy look like she is not stingy with the coin. Candy look like she looks out for her family. Like, from watching Candy and the Gang, like when she talk about Melvin and them, Candy looks out for people, which is why God gonna always bless her. She gonna always stay with money in her pocket and coins in the bank because of that. So, Marlo, sorry. Marlo was like, I would like an even more hands-on approach from Candy. And Candy basically told Marlo, like, you gotta be the kind of friend you want. Like, you have to be the kind of friend you want. Like, you can't come here sitting telling me you want a village for me when you not giving me a village, or you acting stank with me. And I get where Candy's coming from. Like, you can't expect me to act a certain way towards you when you're not giving it to me. So I get it. So Marlo was like, y'all got a big family. Let the boys come over to see what a big family look like. And then Candy was like, well, you don't invite me over. So Marlo tried to invite Candy over that night. But Candy was like, I have to take all this off. And you know, it's last minute. You know, sometimes when you working and you be traveling stuff, you just want to go home to your house, to your thing. Like, let me stay on topic, but I get what Marlo was saying. I get what Candy was saying, and I also get what Marlo was saying. So then, I guess it was a commercial or whatever. It cuts to Drew working out. They're dropping with Drew. She's working out with Ralph and her assistants. And they finish, and then Ralph pulls Drew to the side, and he's like, I want to do something special for you. So then all the men end up meeting at Blaze, you know, Candy and Todd's steak and chicken. What is it? Blaze steak and seafood. I said steak and chicken. That's ignorant. Steak and seafood. So all the fellas meet up. They go to Blaze steak and seafood, and they just begin talking. You know, they're doing the things that men do. So we find out that Todd is 48. So that means he's 10 years older than Ralph. But you wouldn't know that Todd look good. Like Todd look good. Like even Candy at 40s. I mean, I knew Candy was a little older, but nah, whatever I seen them taking their vitamins when it was talking about the Candy's Broadway play in the New Jersey house. I seen them taking their vitamins. Whatever Candy and Ty doing over there in their household is working because they look good. But Ty mentioned that he was 48. He had a colonoscopy schedule, and he was like, "Look, man, I got little children. I'm trying to stay alive." Ty, I respect it. And I like that you mentioned it to the other men to let them know, like, you know, and even saying it on TV, like, men, like, get yourself checked, especially when you reach a certain age. See what pre-existing or what underlying conditions you may have, you know, live longer, like help, like get the help is here, like go to the doctor, okay? So I wrote that because I'm so happy that Ty just mentioned it. Just mentioning it can do wonders. So they're talking. Aaron mentions that he wants another child, but Sanya is not on board because he asked Ty, he was like, "How many kids? How many littles do you have?" And Ty was like, "I have 4 altogether." And Aaron was like, "I would like another one." But Sanya mentioned in episode 1 that the last time when they had the first child, Deucey, she was like, Aaron checked out. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that can be traumatic for someone, like, because he probably checked out, Sanya, and, you know, went crazy. Now she got him back in line, and you want me to have another baby again so you could check out again? I'm with Sanya. I would be dragging my feet too. That's what I'm trying to say. I would be dragging my feet too. So Ty brought up the assistant situation. This is it, y'all. Too many people know about this situation. So Ty brings up the assistant situation, and I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I like how Ty, he was playing. He eventually said, like, he was like, "I'm just playing. I get it. I just want to make sure you and wifey good." But Ty wasn't buying nothing Ralph was giving. Everything Ralph gave, Aaron was just chuckling. Aaron was like, Aaron was just sitting there chuckling. Ty was like, okay. Like, everybody know that whole assistant situation is just, to be honest with you, I really hope that assistant situation wrap up episode 3. Next episode, the episode we get Sunday, I hope that wrap up. Please don't drag this the whole season because I'm tired about it, because everybody talking about it so much, everybody know about it. Let's just dead it. No more than episode 4. Season 3, we clean it up. Episode 4, we mention it just in that first 30 minutes or the first 25 minutes, and then we move on. Let's find another story. Let's find something else to talk about. But I'm getting tired of the assistant situation myself. So Ralph answer was like, "I'm a man." Like, basically he was like, "But I'm a man." I'm gonna leave that alone because I'm tired of that. I'm tired of Ralph. I'm tired of that. So then it goes. So then we also see Marlo send her nephew Michael off to homecoming. And y'all, this was like my favorite part of this episode. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because we got to see Marlo in like a different light. Like, I think that is what's so refreshing. I'm so used to seeing Marlo like, I'm fabulous and I got all of this luxury and then the weaves and then the glamour. But like I mentioned in the last recap, I was like, I love seeing Marlo as a Monty. I love seeing her so domesticated, so hands-on, all this. I just enjoy seeing Marlo in that light. So now to see Marlo open up about her upbringing, like so as the, you know, they were so it starts out, come to find out, I also mentioned in last week, I was like, Marlo has 2 managers. So we find out that Marlo's manager is a man, but he's married, so it's a husband and wife partnership. So the 2 managers she have are husband and wife, and I think that is so good for Marlo because, you have a man's perspective and then you have the female perspective, and you have them both working together to suit you. So I think that's amazing, because I was like, Marlo has 2 managers. I was like, why does she need 2? But I get it. It's husband and wife. She technically has 1, but she gets best of both worlds. So it starts out with them talking downstairs. They're getting ready. Michael mentions that he's just gonna be recording videos because he doesn't know how to dance. So Marlo was like, let me turn on some music, let me show you how to dance or whatever like that. So, you know, Marlo starts to teach him how to slow dance. And then she also mentions how, like, as he was growing, like as the boys were, you know, growing up and asking questions, she was like, she had to get her male manager, I forgot his name, to come in and step in and answer a question, because she was like, because I think one of the question was like, why is this different, or why is this? She was like, let me get him, because I don't know. So that was cute. And then Marlo was like, after they did the little whole scene where she tried to teach him how to dance, she was like, oh, we have to go upstairs and change. So they go upstairs and he begins to change, and then Marlo starts unveiling. And I think it's just like literally like we're seeing different layers of Marlo. I think that's why I'm excited, because I always did love me some Marlo. I always love me some Marlo. So seeing her like this is like, oh my God, it's literally, it's so, I'm not trying to say like I'm fanning over Marlo, but it is nice to see Marlo in a different light versus how we used to see her. Like, she got her money from this, she did this. Like, it's just nice to see her in this light. So Marlo tells us that growing up, she didn't get to do a lot of these things, because when she grew up with her mom, she grew up in the projects. She said her mom was on drugs, getting high all the time, beating her ass. Like, she would get beat all the time. So she said foster care was her safe haven. And then she mentions she attended one dance and she had like 5 different hairstyles in it. And she didn't have anyone because they were downstairs waiting for Michael with the camera, because Marlo was like, I'm paying a driver by hour, I'm paying the photographer by hour. You know, XYZ. Marlo was like, it's so, you know, something he can remember. Like, oh, I had people waiting downstairs for me, taking my pictures, sending me off, because Marlo said she didn't have any of that. I thought that was so, like, just to hear Marlo open up, I was like, this is, you know, it was quite refreshing. So then that was that. So then we go back to Drew, child. We back to Drew. We's back to Drew. So it starts off with Drew getting ready for her date with Ralph. And she's getting glammed up, and assistant 3 is telling her that, comes tell her, like, you're getting ready to go on a date. Drew has 4 assistants, yo. 4. Maybe in the next episode we'll find out why, but she has 4 assistants. So I will say this. Everything Ralph had planned out, like from the dress to her hair to the house they went to and the food, I did put this. I said it was a very nice day. It was very, very nice. From the roses to the candles being lit all around. Ralph did that. I give him that. He did that. He did that. And I put, the food looked good too. So they had lobster tail with green beans. Let me tell y'all, I pay attention to the details, child. And everything looked good. It did. It did. So I could see how, you know, Drew gets caught up in Ralph's web, because he playing with her emotions, but then he turns around, he does something so sweet and thoughtful like this. So I get it. I get it. And I think it makes so much sense that Drew mentioned, like, when they were going back and forth, she was like, we have high highs and low lows. And y'all, I'm gonna just say I can relate to that. Like, to be in a relationship with someone that has so many high highs, and then the next thing you know, when it's low, it is low. Like, it's 2 extremes. It's like, it could never be like an extreme and then balance. Like, it can't be a high and balance. Like, it gotta be a high or low, high or low. I get it. Drew, I get it. So Ralph says, so they start talking, child. They start talking. And Ralph was like, I just wanted to be a good evening. And Drew was like, I think they both said, and I think I saw a meme on Instagram that says, well, you know you in a toxic relationship when you say, I just want us to have a good day. I saw a meme. I think Justin LaBoy posted like, I just want us to have a good day. They say that's when you know your relationship toxic, when you have to say that. But anyway, they was like, I just want to have a good evening. That thing went left so fast. Like I literally had to run. I'm like, well, how did that even? It went left quick, y'all. Like it went left quick. So how did it start? Did I write that? I just said, all I put was, I was like, Ralph said, I'm going to have to go ahead and schedule a session with you and Dr. Kent. Something happened where Ralph was like, it just went left quick. So they got to talking, and Ralph was like, I'm going to schedule an appointment with you to talk to Dr. Kent or Dr. King, whatever the name is. Dr. Kent, I missed it. And he was like, on how to talk to men and communicate effectively. And Drew was like, I'm going to schedule you an appointment so you can learn how to talk to women. And then Drew called Ralph a maniac. And Ralph went like crazy. Ralph was like, I can't be a maniac. Look at all those degrees on the wall. Did a maniac. So here go Drew with that phone, child. Drew pulls out the phone and Googles maniac and reads the definition. But the definition was more so like, it wasn't, the context of the term maniac that she read wasn't like to fit what she meant in that moment with Ralph, because it was something about like I don't know, maniac mind, like a killer or something. It had something. It was along those lines. So at this point, Ralph pissed. Ralph has checked out. Ralph not caring for nothing else Drew got to say. You can see at this moment Ralph has shut down. He has shut down. And don't get me wrong, I don't really care for Ralph, but I understood at that moment why he shut down, because in his eyes, he's like, I done all of this. And then you still find, like, you can't just give me the night, but you still find a way to go Google maniac and call me a maniac, and I did all of this to try to make you happy. Because the purpose of Ralph for doing the whole date, he was like, I want to make Drew realize she's the only woman, like she's the only one, like she's the only one, whatever. So basically he wanted her to feel special, let her know there's no other woman, it's just you. I get it. I do get it. I get what you're trying to do, but I do feel like what you're trying to do is wonderful, and as a husband, that's something you should do for your woman. But Drew is so hurt, and Drew has so many underlying issues that have happened in the past that has went unresolved, that Drew cannot be at that state that you want her to be in right now, because there's unresolved issues. Drew needs clarity first before she can be where you're at. You like, that's where y'all clashing, baby. Because even Drew said it. Like, Drew was like, Drew mentioned what she said. She said, so if me expressing myself means we're going to have a bad night. So basically, what Drew trying to say is she wants to address the issues at hand. You're not trying to address them. So all of a sudden it's going to be a bad night. Drew can't express herself with you. And that's the problem she's having. That's why she can't just be happy and accept this date, because, yeah, she's going to be happy, but in the back of her mind, this is what's rolling. So it sucks. It really does suck. They need therapy, and they both need to be, like, honest and open and willing to receive the feedback. Yo, my camera is about to die. I'm not about to change the battery. So that literally is how it ended. Drew started crying. She got upset. Ralph shut down. Ralph was like, why do I even do this? I get it. They're upset. If you have made it to the end of this video, y'all, thank you so much. I thank you for watching. I'm going to see you guys for episode 3. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that bell. Like it, comment it, and I'll see y'all next week for episode 3. Bye.